We use include lists at the Berwick Bridge Club to control who enters our BBO competitions. We have two lists. One is the list of all the club members, so that entry to our tournaments is restricted to them. And we have a second special list for one event, the Tom Woodman teams, where we want to restrict entry to the 56 club members who are registered to play in this. The main reason to use this is to stop other club members inadvertently registering for the Tom Woodman teams on a Tuesday night and messing up the movement. So if we go to Director tab, we can click on Include, Exclude Lists, and we can go to Manage List. And what I'm going to do is to replace the current include list. So choose an action, replace, and we'll choose a file. And this is the file with the list of the BBO names of the club members who are going to play in the Tom Woodman. So if we just do execute there, it says, do you want to replace the entire list? And we do. And you see that previously we had 106 people registered or on the include list, and now we have 56 names. So those are the 56 people. I'll just close that. And then what I can do is go into the Tom Woodman teams that's been configured already, and I can just modify tournament, and this says it's been modified, and this causes the new include list to be set up for that event. Now there is only one include list on BBO at a time. Now the list I've just loaded, because I've modified the Tom Woodman teams, is now set in the Tom Woodman teams tournament. However, next Tuesday's tournament is using the previous list. But if I go into here and I modify it for some reason, maybe change the start time and modify the tournament, now we will have the Tom Woodman teams include list in the Calder Martin. So it's important to realize that only one list exists at a time. And whenever you modify a tournament, it takes the include list that is currently loaded. So what I better do is put the original list back in. So I'm going to go back to manage lists. I'm going to go to list type is include users. I'm going to replace the list, choose the file, and this is the file of all of our club members, and execute that. And it says, do you want to replace it again? And now it was 56, it's now 105. So there are now 105 people in my include list, and that's the list that we want to use for the Calder Martin next Tuesday. So I go back into the tournament, I modify the tournament, this has been modified, and that is loaded up now, the include list for all of our club members who play on BBO. So what will happen now is this is fine. McDonald 2 uses the old include list before I started this video, and I'll just keep that up to date when I want to. And then before the Tom Woodman teams, I'll make sure that we've loaded in again the correct include list. The way I tend to do it is on the morning of the Tom Woodman teams, I'll upload the new name list for it. I'll modify the tournament so that the tournament has the correct name list loaded. And then the morning after the Tom Woodman teams, I'll reload the list of all club members, and I'll just modify any pending tournaments to ensure that they have the right include list when they run on the following week. And that's basically all there is to it. There's one more thing. Occasionally, we'll have guests or we'll have substitutes for either the current tournament or the future tournament. So if we had a guest playing for a one-off affair, then what I would do is I'd go into the include lists, Maybe we want to add one person, and maybe we'll add Paul G1, my helper who often helps with videos, and I'll close that. So now the current list has Paul G1 in, and that was the list I set for the Calder Martin. So if I go into Edit Tournament for Calder Martin and modify the tournament, it will now have picked up Paul G1 as a possible registry for the tournament. And if we have a late minute substitute for the Tom Woodman teams, then it will follow the same process. And at the end of the day, when it's all finished, what I do is go through, find wherever Paul G1 is in this list, probably after M, and we can remove Paul G1, just a simple click on the close that, and now go back into the tournament, modify it, and Paul G1 can no longer play in these tournaments. If you have any questions, then just drop me a line.